Hi, welcome to MS Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about Insert tab. In Insert tab, we have different parts like tables, illustrations, add-ins, charts, tours, spark lines, filters, links, comments, and in the last part, we have text and symbols. These are the different groups we have in Excel Insert tab. Now the first option. What is the first option? Pivot table. The use of pivot table is it summarizes the complex data into simple data sets. Our understanding of data will be better after applying pivot tables on a large data set. The data which is so large, I just considered a small table here, but when we consider large data sets, the summarized data, if you take example of 1000 rows, if you take example of a data with more than 2000 rows, in such cases summarization of data will play an important role. During such cases, the pivot table option is the best option for summarizing and analyzing the complex data sets or large data sets. Let's see one example of using pivot table. Here we have fields like year, type of matches or type of match, batsman, runs, matches, tournaments, state and country. So we have just a list of few players like Dravid, Yuvraj, Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Suppose we have all the players who represented India. Along with that, we have their states, we have number of tournaments played, we have type of match like whether it is T20, one day text or domestic. We have all these details in the table. Now, when we try to, we have two options in creation of pivot table. The pivot table can be created within the same sheet, or we can also create that in new sheet also, new Excel worksheet. So before we create pivot table, it is important to remember that the pivot table can be created from the selected data set. Okay, we can also select a table. Now the table is selected. Now I am clicking on existing worksheet. Instead of considering a new worksheet, first I am clicking on existing worksheet so that I can see the pivot table here itself. As this is little bit difficult for dragging and dropping, I'm just changing the pattern in which this pivot table selection is displayed. Okay, the pattern in which the selection has to be done can be simplified by using settings here. Okay, how you want to see it, that this is the previous format. Now I just changed it to fields beside all these areas like filters, rows, columns and all. Now what I want to do is I want to take example that I want to see the total runs made by each player. I want to see highest runs among all the players. I want to see different kinds of analysis and data. Okay. For this, what I can do is I'm selecting runs in values. Okay. Runs in values and rows. I'm selecting batsman. Okay. And it should be filtered by type of tournaments. Okay. A type of match. And this is the filter I'm applying. Now, when I close this, what I can see? Dhoni, sum of runs, Dravid, total sum of runs, even though they are here, they are from different formats. Now, what happened? The summarized data, how many runs Dhoni. If we double click on it, we can see the data, how many runs they scored. Okay. If we summarize and such double click on this, we see the data related to Sachin Tendulkar. Clear? And we are getting a separate sheet with that data also. This is the power of pivot table. Okay. In this manner, summarized data can be created. What we have to do? Simply, we have to go to insert, right? We have to click on pivot table. In this manner, I can create pivot table. Okay, pivot table summarizes data. It also displays grand table. The more detailed explanation of pivot table will be done in a separate video. Okay. Now this table is created by us, right? With the type of matches. If I go for 1 day, what will happen? Only 1 day data. Text matches. Only test match values, right? If I select all the data of all in this manner, the summarized data from a large data set can be created by using pivot table. Suppose if you are a beginner, for the first time you are working with pivot table, you don't have any idea about how to use filter, how to use rows, how to use values and all, then you can go for recommended pivot tables. Okay, from the given data set. Okay, from the given data set of this, right? I'm selecting the field. From this given data set, what are the recommended pivot tables? Okay, domestic, how many runs scored, right? Total, how many domestic matches played, right? We can see some of them. How many tournaments played by Dhoni, right? How many runs scored by Dhoni. In this manner, we have predefined formats, right? Predefined pivot tables which can be selected directly, right? And runs scored by each state player and by playing number of matches. All these are selected by the system itself. The Excel engine itself selected different pivot tables format for us. If any one of these pivot tables are useful to us, we can directly take them. I am taking this. Okay, I'm just simply clicking on it. Okay, that's done. A new table is created which is showing how many matches played by Dhoni and how many runs he scored. Okay, in this manner, we can create pivot tables and we can summarize data by using pivot table option and a recommended pivot table option. Now we have to remember three important rules. We have to remember three important rules while we create this pivot table. So what are these three rules? Rule number one. What is rule number one? The data must have headings. Okay. Headings are compulsory. Okay. Like you can see year, type of match, batsman, runs, all these are headings are compulsory for creation of pivot table. Rule number two. What is rule number two? There should be no empty row or column. You have to ensure that your data is without empty rows or columns. Okay. What is rule number three? No totals are subtotals. As totals and subtotals are automatically created with help of pivot table, no totals are subtotals in your data. Okay. Automatic summarization, automatic calculation of data will be done by Excel itself. Okay. So you have to simply click on, you have to simply select the data and all the summarization will be done by Excel engine itself. Headings are compulsory, no empty rows and columns, no totals or subtotals in the data. The subtotaling, the summarization, everything will be done by pivot table itself. Okay. Now it is also important to remember that, okay, consider it as rule number 4. Whenever there is an updation, in case of updation, you have to select the data set, complete data set again. So to avoid that, to go for automatic refreshment of data, consider this data in a table format. Just by pressing Ctrl T, suppose if this is the data that I am going to work on, I have to simply select Ctrl T. Now this is converted into table. Okay. If I don't want to see this format, what I can do, I can go for some simple regular format in a table like this, right? Now this is the format. So updation in table format will be done by just simply clicking on refresh. Now this is the table I have, right? This is the table I have. Now this is table 3. As now it is converted into table, what I have to do simply, suppose if I add one more field, one more player name, suppose take one more example like I am taking the same data of Dravid. Okay, I am entering here. I am entering Rahul name, KL Rahul. Okay, KL Rahul. I am not changing the data. I am simply changing the, as he's from Karnataka, I am just going like this. Now, as this is in table format, I have to simply click on refresh. Now KL Rahul is added because this is in table format. If this is not in table format, there is no pause. Even after adding Rahul, the data, whole data has to be selected again and all the updation will not be applicable. So by converting the data into table format, the updations we make will be easily reflected by simply clicking on refresh. Automatic updation of pivot table will be also done with this. Now coming to the next part, tables can be also created, or the data can be converted into tables by using tables option, and we have that part here. Okay, take this as example. What I have to do, I have to simply select this. I can convert this into table. Now coming to the next group, tables group is done. Now coming to illustrations. Pictures can be inserted from different parts. Okay. So whatever picture that I have from different locations of computer. I can select that. Okay. And I can print it. Okay. Wherever I want, I can print it very easily. Now, once I insert picture, automatically the picture format virtual tab will be displayed. Different options related to picture will be displayed here. Okay. Next, after completion of this, we have picture insertion. Different pictures and can be inserted. Then we have shapes of different sizes, different colors. We can insert different shapes by using shapes options. We can also go for insertion of different kinds of icons. Okay, the icons will be present. Whatever icon you want, that can be inserted easily. Okay, icons can be inserted. Then 3D models. Okay, 3D models of different types which are present in this device. Okay, which can be downloaded from different sources. All of them will be emojis, chemistry, anatomy, stickers, right? All this math symbols. Now we have all the advanced options available to us and we can insert them here, right? 3D models. We can go for different kinds of 3D models, right? When it is connected to internet, we get all these different options, right? And all. Sometimes when we have large 3D models, it takes some time to insert all this, right? We will have so many 3D models and we can insert them in our Excel worksheet depending on our requirement. Now let's take the next option, that is Smart Art. In Smart Art, we have various options. I'm just taking two options. One is hierarchy. Okay. And the second one is, I'm taking one more here. That is cycle. Okay. So in this process also, in this model also, we have various types of designs here. I'm selecting this so that, so here I'm selecting pivot. Okay. Analysis summary. Here I'm selecting one more option, that is what is this? Smart art. Visual can be created, will be easy to understand. Okay, whatever classification, you take example of different agricultural process like flowing, right? Irrig Next process is sowing, okay, fertilizing or applying fertilizers, irrigation, and after that finally harvest. Once the harvesting is done, again the cultivation will go on. In this manner, we can insert different kinds of smart art by using this insert tab options. Next, if I think about taking a screenshot, screen clipping, I can take a screen clipping and I can add it here. You can add it anywhere. Clipping of the screen can be taken any window that is opened, even any other application that we can take a screenshot, any particular part or whole screen can be taken and we can insert that here. Next, when we have add-ins, we have to log in into Microsoft account. And once you are added, can add all this Microsoft Visio, Data Visualizer, Analyzer, Microsoft Dynamics. Okay, different add-ins are available. Data analytics, for data analytics, we can add this, right? Whatever add-ins that I have selected, they all will be displayed here in my add-ins, and different add-ins which are available in Excel, they will be displayed here. They are useful for different options. These add-ins are useful for applying or using added features, and added analysis of data can be done by using these add-ins. Charts of various types can be created. For a creation of chart, it is important that we have to remember one important point, that data must be selected for creation of chart. Already some recommended charts are given here. Okay, you can use them directly. Otherwise, you can go for creation of your own chart by using different charts available here. Okay, you can see the chart. This is different players and there. How you want to see that you can change it. Once you select it, you can go for change of chart type, go for column chart. Okay, number of runs scored by each player displayed here. In this panel, you can use charts of various types in Excel. You can select whatever you want. Okay. The percentage of runs scored. We can also go for change of that into various types. Okay. This is about charts. Okay. Next, maps. When we have data, okay, which is showing different states and countries, then what we can do? We can go for insertion of maps to represent the data. Okay. I'm simply selecting the total data and I'm going for use of maps. And the states from the players like players from Punjab, okay, players from Jharkhand playing like Dhoni, players from Karnataka and Maharashtra playing from Mumbai, Maharashtra and Karnataka. So these are the states we have. Okay. Even Delhi, a small dot you can see here, that is Delhi. So based on the data that we have in Excel sheet, the chart created that is created by using this one. Okay. By using maps option. Once the map is created, we have chart design. Okay. We have different layouts for it. We can also add chart element. We can also add legends, right? All this can be done by using maps option, right? Pivot chart. Based on data, we created pivot tables. Now we can also go for creation of pivot charts also. Now I have selected all the data in table 3. I'm simply selecting table 3 is already selected. I'm simply clicking on OK. Now in the same manner, what I have to do? I have to give values like runs under values. Legend is year. Okay. Access here and type of match filter. Now I can see Dhoni and all this, right? Right. In this manner, we can go for display of data. Okay. In different ways by using pivot chart. Okay. 3D maps can be inserted. 3D map tours can be inserted when you want to create a map tour. Open 3D maps. 3D maps will be created when you are explaining about a travel in your business organization or any tour that you are planning on the globe that can be explained by using this 3D tour. Okay. The next group is Sparklines group. For Sparklines group, it is important to have data which is. So what is the next option we have in Sparklines? Columns. So for columns also I have to select the data. I have to click on columns. And for location range, I'm selecting this. Okay. Now columns are selected. First one for 2009 and the second one for 2010 and the third one for 2011. Now take the third example. What is the third example in Sparklines? Third option, win or loss. When we consider third option, that is win or loss, it is most suitable for business data. Just even though it is not possible, I am just writing minus 15,000. Here I am writing, I am entering this as okay. Here I am giving this as minus okay 7,000. Now when I apply this option, like what is the option? Win or loss. When I select the range, When I click on OK, what I can see, the minus values are represented. This is loss, this is win. So when the business have profit and loss, when the business has more sales or when business suffer with losses, that can be represented by using this win or loss option in Spark Lines. Coming to the next one, that is slicer and timeline. So here I am taking slicer first. Okay, for slicer I am taking the data and I am clicking on slicer. So for that I am selecting country. First one I am selecting country. Country is common, right? So I'm selecting state, I'm selecting batsman, I'm selecting type of match. That's it. Okay. Now the three slicers are created. These are just like, now I am selecting domestic. Only domestic data will be displayed. If I select Delhi, only the data of Delhi players will be displayed. If I select Jharkhand, Jharkhand players. Okay. I'm just simply removing the selection. I'm selecting all Maharashtra, all players. Punjab, right? Karnataka, all players. So in this manner, we can go for I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting Maharashtra. I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting T20s. I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting only Karnataka. I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting only Dhoni. Removing the selection here also. Right. In this manner, we can apply slicers also. Next option is timeline. When we have this timeline, when the data is stored in date-based format, when we have data in date-wise format, then this timeline option will be useful. Then we can create links, like take one example. So I'm typing sheet 1. Okay, I'm selecting typing sheet 1 and I am creating a link place within the document and I am selecting sheet 1. Okay, I have sheet 1 exactly on the downside. Now I am in example 1 pivot table and chart. The sheet 1 is here. Now I am clicking on OK. When I click on this, what will happen? I will go directly to sheet 1. Okay, this is the use of hyperlink. Okay, I am in example 1. I am clicking on this and I am going to sheet 1. This can be applied. This can be applied for external applications also. If I want to open MS Word, insert link, and I'm selecting a Word file on the desktop and I'm clicking on OK. When I click on this, Word file is opened. Okay. In this manner, I can give links to different sources within the document or within the Excel worksheet or outside the Excel worksheet by using links option. If I want to write some comment for any cell, I can write it. Link to desktop file. Link to desktop file. Okay, that's it. When I place my cursor here, what it displays? Link to desktop file. The comment will be clearly visible with this symbol, and if I simply place my cursor over there, I can read the comment. If I want to place text box, header and footer, word art, signature line and object. What is text box? Instead of typing directly in the cell, if you want to separately in a text box, you want to create a box of your own, that can be done by using text box option. If you want header and footer, those can be inserted by using this option. And once this is done, okay, view, I'm going for normal view, right? In insert word art, if you want to go for any word art style, you can go for it. Okay, you can type whatever you want here. Right, I'm typing Creative Academy. Right. So these are the different options we have with the text signature line, object like any external object like Microsoft PowerPoint, Word, different options, different objects can be inserted, WordPad and all can be inserted in the document, right? Next, the next option, symbols of various types. Equations of various types and symbols of various types can be inserted by using this option. These are the different options we have in Insert tab of Excel 2016.